Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in today. I just want to start off by saying thank you and that I appreciate you each for the time that you guys have taken out to come in today and taking the time to listen to this message. Um, the goal, I want to say, for this mission, this message for today's video, is that I'm trying to expand the quality improvement, the overall care for all of our patients here at the organization and here at the hospital. I hope this video helps explain the importance and the impact that we all have on the process when it comes to quality improvement. Because each one of us is a different cog and a different piece to the overall functionality and way that the organization flows and moves. I'm hoping by doing this and showing how we can improve by answering 6 questions. And we'll take we'll take each question here and there. But I'm hoping by the end of this, I help explain a little bit more about the importance that each and every one of us have in the organization when it comes to improving the quality of the service and improving the quality of everything that goes on with our organization. Now, let's get into it though. The first question is, why are teams a valuable point of focus when considering quality improvement in healthcare? And you might wonder, like, well, what is it? Why are we each here? Why are we each so important to this system? And it's because, let's keep it straightforward. Let's keep the answer going. Let's look at the obvious thing. The one thing is the teams that you guys work for, each and every one of you guys are a part of individually. You guys are all experts in what you guys do. And that's what makes you guys so valuable, because it's not like we can ask our doctors or our nurses can jump into a role or pretend to know exactly what areas can be improved on. I work here in the administrative side. I don't know what it is that a doctor and a nurse do exactly every day on their day ins and day outs. So I can't pretend to understand that role. You guys go through it every day. You guys are in the thick of it. You guys are right there, front line and center. So you guys can see what areas need the most improvement, which makes you guys such a valuable resource to us when it comes to figuring out how to do it. Each of you have different knowledge and diversity in your each department, which you guys each bring to this table. And that knowledge is it's valuable. It's priceless. It's something that we can't do without it. I'm hoping that together, though, as a collective unit between all of us, we can collaborate more effectively and solve issues that as a whole organization we may be facing or currently facing in the future. By working together as a team, we can come with a common focus and a common goal, and we can help make the patient's experience for everyone just more valuable, more precious, better for each and every one of them. And that's the overall goal at all points when it comes to raising the quality of our service or improving our overall quality as an organization, is the patients. It's always going to be about the patients. And that leads us into the second question. What distinguishes a team as a high performing within a healthcare environment? Obviously, I would always say what defines a team as being high performing or powerful in their performance, whether it's in healthcare or in sports or any other type of team, is having a clear goal, understanding what our clear goal is. For us, it's always going to be, like I said, patient care, being there for the patients. This is where working as a team, we can each help each other. All of us by being on the same page lets us understand that we all understand the clear goal, the patients. And then that way we can hold each other accountable and we can improve the quality when we all have the same page. This comes through with strong leaders are another key component, and they play a very significant role in the effectiveness of each team and each team's work that we provide. Just like I said earlier, just like sports teams, there needs to be a captain or a leader, someone who communicates with the coach and gets the information to the team, someone that relays and understands game plans and can move on the moment to help provide those situations. The same goes with teams. We need a point of contact, a leader, basically, to help communicate and keep the goals going, as I mentioned, so we can accomplish our goals. Respect is another important aspect, because we all have to have respect for each other, and through respect we can gain trust with each other. because it is important that we trust each other to each do our roles, and that the other person has our back, and that the other person is doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is another clear way of how we can reach our goals, is by having the respect and trust, because that builds upon a teamwork. That strengthens the bond to a higher level when it comes to a teamwork. Just being understanding of that raises our performance. It improves our environment of where we work at. And it's something that I know we can all accomplish. Having trust in the person next to you is very key in that situation. The next question that comes up is discuss how team processes and the varying roles of individuals can impact quality assessment both positively and negatively. This is something that we really got to take a look at, because, as I mentioned earlier, having a leader is important. So is having each role explained and understood, because that's something that gets lost sometimes in translation is, well, what exactly is my role? What am I supposed to be doing? For example, you couldn't ask, say, Kobe Bryant to play the role of Shaquille O'Neal in basketball. One's, real tall, I want to say 7 foot center, and the other one was, like a 6'3", 6'4" small guard. They're two different positions that require two different skill set. And although they're both amazing players, and each one of them is, of course, a superstar, legendary in the history books for what they did, neither of them could play the other person's role. That's why it's so important in understanding your role, focusing in your role, and that way it drives you to those championships. Because we all know, like, the Lakers had the 3-peat championship when they were together. That's what builds a championship team, though, is everybody understanding their role, focusing in on it, and doing the best that they can on the role. It's important that we each stick to our roles and own our roles. Leaders can direct teams positively or negatively through that. And that's why it's important to understand that each team member has the ability to make the team work well. And smoothly or hard. It just depends, because each member of the team, whether they're the captain or not, they all play an important part in teamwork. The same way they have to train too as well and get their skills sharpened. I know there's that whole thing about the Mamba mentality and how he trained and practiced. That's the same thing with us when we try to offer you guys our training programs, our educational programs. It's a form of practice to help improve you at your skills so you can be better at the role and the position that you play on the team. So that we always hope that those going to be the results or the end results of our educational programs that we offer. The next one, though, goes into how does the cross-functionality of a high-performing team enhance its ability to reach quality improvement goals. Now, I know a lot of times, like, when you hear that, like, oh, wait, I'm going to be cross-trained, it sounds like a little bit more work. But it's really not more work. What it is making you more of an asset for the company. For example, at one point, I worked for a car dealership where I washed vehicles. That was my job. I just washed cars, vacuumed them, detailed them, cleaned them. But while I was doing that, I was focusing every day on all the different features. What made each car special? What made each car different? And then through all that, one day, the dealership was packed. It was overran. It had way too many people on there. So I told the manager, hey, there's a couple outside looking at a car. You need a sales guy out there. What should I do? He told me, you go talk to them, kill time, talk to them, explain them the car. So I did. I went out there. I drove the car every day, washed them every day. So I explained all the features, everything I loved about the vehicle to them. And they liked it. They wanted to buy it. Took them back into the showroom floor. The manager jumped in, helped do all the paperwork. At the end of the day, that was the last day I washed cars. The manager told me, you are now a salesperson. And that's the thing. When you get cross-trained between multiple departments, it makes you a better asset for the organization. It makes you a stronger, more valuable employee. It opens up doors and opportunities for you to be able to move forward. Now, from an organizational side point, what it does for us is it allows us to be able to fill in gaps and holes so that we don't lose that quality of service. So we don't lose service and so we don't underperform for our patients. Let's say, for instance, we have a department that's missing an employee that day, or someone's caught out sick, they're, Lord forbid, they're getting slammed in a certain department and they need backup. That's where it comes in. Instead of lowering our overall quality or not being able to hit our quality, we now have somebody to slide in for backup. And that's the importance of being cross-trained or cross-multifunctional and being able to handle those situations. The next one is, how do elements such as conflict and change affect the dynamics of the team and the ability to reach a unified goal? I'm going to be the first one to say I'm not a big fan of change or conflict. I do not like to create conflict in my life. I don't like conflict at work. I don't like conflict while driving. And it's funny to think, but conflicts do happen. And it can be avoidable, of course. Unfortunately, it's something that happens a lot. We can avoid conflict by working together, having that clear communication with each other, being able, as I said, respect with each other is a key point. Because when we have that respect for each other, we're able to communicate our problems with each other instead of having them escalate to become conflicts. Because a conflict can definitely disrupt the workflow. If it creates a rift in the overall flow of the team, that ripple effect from that conflict can cause delays, times, errors, things that we want to avoid when it comes to working with our patients. So definitely very avoidable. Now, changes is something, I don't want to do. I know you guys don't want to do. Changes, something that comes upon us sometimes, and we have no choice. It can be a change in process, a change in how things are done, new educational change, things that may be implemented upon us that we don't want to actually do. But we have to keep in mind that those changes are designed and made to help keep us moving forward. And that's the thing as well. With those changes, we can improve on. We can become a better organization. We do understand that, sometimes there's going to be a dip because change creates adaptability, and we got to get used to the situation. But we have to keep a positive mind frame that change can help and improve the overall situation. Now, if we take time to discuss the resources and the types of supports available to you guys that might enhance the team, we do offer a lot of different support. Of course, we offer our training and educational program, which I mentioned earlier. Those are the easy ones that you guys can take advantage of and work out of. But thinking outside of the box, thinking about how different departments are, it's things like these meetings where we get together, a collective of minds, all of us get together, diversity from each department, to try to solve common goals and to try to solve bigger goals as a unit. That creates a big support or resource that most people don't really talk about. That communication as well can be done through emails, team meetings, things like that. Anything that can help build our chemistry as well, team builders, chemistry builders. Those are other offers that we offer as well. One-on-one coachings are always going to be offered. Group coachings if needed, because sometimes people don't want to feel like they're part of a little group. And the last thing I always want to recommend, one of the biggest supports we have is supporting our individuals. Just as much as it is important to find where we can improve at and what areas need improvement, it's also important to speak out or mention the victories. Praise and boast our employees, praise and boast each and every one of you as you guys are accomplishing these goals. It's important to remind you that you guys are each doing an amazing job, and we are nothing, and I mean nothing of an organization without the support that you guys provide. And that's something that needs to always be done. I mean, it's always important to remember, okay, we can be better at this, but you guys are amazing at all of these other things that you guys are already doing. With that being said, I hope this video helps a little bit on understanding what our goal is, why we're trying to implement the differences in quality improvement, and how you as team members are so important in the whole process of quality improvement in the organization. Each one of you as an individual and as a member of the team help us become better. With that being said, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.